Do you ever hear that saying, like, slow and steady wins the race?
Oh, yeah. Classic.
It's kind of the heart of what we're getting at today.
Right.
That whole idea of the compound effect, which, by the way, shout out to Darren Hardy.
Of course, yeah.
His book, same name.
It's a good one.
Yeah, lays it all out. And it really is like that whole tortoise and the hare thing.
Absolutely, yeah.
The hare, all flashy, speedy.
Yeah.
Seems like they got it in the bag.
Right.
But it's that tortoise just keeps going steady.
Plugging away.
Wins it all in the end.
I think what Hardy does so well is he really takes us away from that whole instant success thing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone wants the quick win, right? But he's all about those small actions.
It's a little thing.
Yeah, the stuff that seems insignificant. But if you do them consistently, over time, boom, big changes.
Powerful stuff.
Especially in a world where everyone wants everything right now.
Right, like overnight success.
Exactly. It's almost like a countercultural idea.
It is. And, Hardy's not just talking the talk here.
Oh, yeah.
He's lived this big time. He gives a lot of credit to his dad, actually.
Oh, interesting. What did he do?
University football coach. So, discipline. Built right in from day one.
Makes sense. Tough upbringing.
Oh, yeah? 6 a.m. wake-up calls.
No thanks.
Because his dad was, already up, lifting weights.
Wow.
Tons of chores. And this rule? No excuses. Unless you were, as his dad would say, showing bone.
Showing bone.
Yeah, like actually injured.
Oh, okay, hardcore.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But, that early discipline.
I bet it paid off.
Big time. 6-figure income by 18. Millionaire before he hit 30.
See, that's the compound effect in action.
It is. And that kind of brings us to the big question for all of you listening.
Okay, let's hear it.
How do we, you and me, everyone listening,
right?
How do we really take this compound effect thing and use it?
Right, how do we apply it to our own lives?
Exactly. And how do we do it without feeling like we got to make these, like, huge scary changes all at once?
Right, yeah. No one wants to overhaul their whole life overnight.
Okay, so let's dig into this.
Let's do it.
One of the best examples Hardy uses is that magic penny analogy. You know that one?
Oh, yeah, I love that one. It's a classic.
Okay, so imagine this. Someone says, hey, you got two choices. $3 million cash right now.
Oh, wow.
Or
a penny.
A penny. But it doubles in value every day for 31 days.
Okay, most people, I think, are taking that $3 million up front.
Right. Instant gratification. Who wouldn't?
Exactly. It's secure. It's right there.
But here's the thing. Day 5 comes along.
Yeah.
And the person who took the penny, they got a grand total of 16 cents.
Oh, my gosh.
Meanwhile, you, $3 million.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty smug at that point.
Right. Even at day 10, there's only up to $5.12.
So you're still looking like the genius.
Exactly.
But it's around day 20 when things start to get interesting.
Okay, yeah, what happens then?
Well, the penny's grown. It's over $5,000 now.
Okay, still. Nothing compared to the millions.
No, not yet. But this is where that compound effect really kicks in.
Okay, the suspense is killing me.
Day 31 arrives.
The final day.
That single penny doubling every day, it's now worth over $10 million.
No way. Seriously.
$10,737,418.24 to be exact.
That's insane.
It is, right. And that's the whole point. Consistent effort over time, that's where the real magic happens.
It really shows why sticking with something is so important.
Exactly. For most of that month, the $3 million looks way better.
Oh, yeah.
But it's in those last few days that the penny really explodes.
It goes exponential.
And that's where I think we can relate it to our own lives, right?
So?
Well, we make these changes, try to be positive, and then we don't see big results right away.
Yeah, we get discouraged.
And we give up right before the compound effect could have kicked in.
It's that delayed gratification thing. So tough.
Oh, it's the hardest part. Our world is all about instant gratification.
Right. Want it now. So to make this even more real, Hardy tells this 3 friends story. I love this one.
Oh, yeah. This one's great. It really brings it home.
Okay, so we got Larry.
Okay.
Doesn't change anything in his life. Same old, same old.
Right. Status quo Larry. Then who else we got?
Scott.
Okay, what's Scott doing?
Scott starts making these small, positive changes.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, so he reads 10 pages of a good book every day.
Okay, not too overwhelming.
Right. Listens to about 30 minutes of something inspirational.
All right, I could see myself doing that.
Cuts out like 125 calories from his diet each day.
Small, manageable changes.
Yeah, and just walks a bit more.
Okay, so nothing crazy, but good stuff.
And then there's Brad.
All right, what about Brad?
Brad, well, he's doing the opposite. Small negative changes.
Oh, no, like what? Like adding 125 calories to his diet every day.
Okay, again, not a huge change.
Nope. But here's the kicker. For the first, 10, maybe even 18 months,
Yeah.
no real difference between these guys.
You can't even tell they're making different choices.
Exactly. They all weigh roughly the same jobs, same everything.
But then,
Here it comes.
2 years pass,
Getting close to that month, 31.
and now things are different. Scott, with those small, good habits,
Yeah.
he's down 33.5 pounds.
That's amazing. Just from those little changes.
It is, right? Plus all that reading and listening.
He's learning a lot.
Yeah, he gets a promotion at work.
Wow. Crushing it.
And his marriage. Even that's better.
What about Brad?
Well, Brad, just from those extra calories, he's gained 33.5 pounds.
Oh, wow.
He's unhappy at work. Marriage is struggling.
And Larry?
Larry's the same.
Mm-hmm.
But now he's bitter about it.
Oh, no.
And here's the thing. You do the math on those calories.
940 days times 125 calories.
Yeah.
It's like 117,500 extra calories. That's where the weight gain comes from.
Wow.
You.
It really shows how those little choices add up.
Big time. So think about it. Those little things you do every day, where are they taking you? Months, years down the line.
That's the compound effect, working for or against you.
Exactly. And as Hardy shows in Figure 2 in his book,
Yeah.
it's always happening.
Even if we don't realize it.
Right. Think of it like two lines on a graph,
Okay.
starting close together but slowly moving apart. Over time, huge gap.
So even doing nothing has a compound effect.
It can, yeah. And usually not a good one.
But the good news is,
There's always time to change.
to course correct.
Exactly. Make those small positive changes and you can shift that effect in your favor.
Hardy says the first step is awareness. Like, we got to realize what we're even doing.
Oh, yeah. So many of our choices. We're not even thinking about them. Just autopilot.
Right. He calls it voting with our behavior.
I like that. Voting. Like, are we
Yeah.
consciously choosing this action
Yeah.
or just going with the flow?
And so many things we do, we haven't really voted on them.
It's crazy when you start paying attention.
It is. He tells this really cool story about, he calls it Thanksgiving year-round.
Okay, what's that about?
So he decided to keep a gratitude journal, specifically about his wife.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, for a whole year.
Yeah.
Every day, wrote down one thing he was grateful for about her.
That's a really good practice. Did it work?
It's amazing. But what's crazy is the biggest impact, it was on him, not his wife.
Really? How so?
Just the act of looking for those positive things, writing them down, it changed his whole mindset. He wasn't focusing on the negative stuff anymore.
That makes sense.
And that changed how he acted towards her. So their whole relationship got better.
That's awesome. Shows how powerful our focus is.
And you know what? A friend of his tried the same thing. His marriage was struggling
Uh-oh.
within a few months. Things were so much better.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's all about intentionally directing your attention.
Makes you wonder what else we could apply that to.
Right. Hardy also talks about this idea of complete ownership in relationships. Calls it the 100-0 principle.
100-0.
Yeah, like you got to be willing to give 100%.
To make it work.
Exactly. No expecting the other person to do the same. At least not right away.
That's tough.
It is. But he's saying if you're not giving it your all, you're just leaving it to chance.
I see his point. Okay, so awareness is key. What else?
Okay, so let's talk about luck.
Luck.
Hardy actually says there's a formula for it.
A formula for luck. That's interesting.
Yeah, he says it's not just random. It's preparation.
Okay, so like getting yourself ready.
Right. Your skills, your knowledge, all that.
Makes sense. What else?
Plus attitude, your beliefs, your mindset.
Okay, so you got to believe you can be lucky.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, what else goes into this luck formula?
Opportunity.
So the chance has to present itself.
And then the most important part, action.
You actually got to do something about it.
He quotes Arnold Palmer, you know, the golfer.
Yeah, I know Arnold Palmer.
He said, the more I practice, the luckier I get.
I love that quote. It's so true. You got to be ready when the opportunity shows up.
And that's the action part.
Mm-hmm.
Hardy talks about Richard Branson, the, what's his company called?
Virgin, right.
Virgin, yeah. He's all about taking action.
Makes you wonder how many times we miss out on being lucky because we don't act.
He even makes up this guy, Joseph Wallington, who's like the opposite of Branson.
What does Joseph do?
He just doesn't do anything. Opportunities come up and he's like, nah, I'll pass.
That's why no one knows who he is.
Exactly. So luck might knock on your door, but you got to open it.
All right, so preparation, attitude, opportunity, action. That's the luck formula. What else we got?
Okay, so this one might sound a little
Yeah.
tedious, but it's important.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Tracking.
Tracking, like keeping track of stuff?
Yeah, like everything,
Yeah.
even the small stuff.
I'm not sure I see the point.
It's about awareness. Like he quotes Jim Rohn.
Oh, I love Jim Rohn.
He said, what's simple to do is also simple not to do.
Yeah, that's true.
So tracking makes you really pay attention to your choices.
I see. You can't ignore it when it's right there in front of you.
Exactly. Artie talks about this time, his accountant made him track every cent he spent.
Every cent.
For a whole month. Even 50 cents for air in his tires.
Okay, that's pretty detailed.
Right. But after that month,
Yeah.
he was so much more aware of where his money was going.
Interesting.
He even started avoiding small impulse buys because he didn't want to write them down.
So the tracking itself created the change.
And it led to better habits overall.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one.
Oh.
He talks about casinos, Olympic trainers, all about tracking.
They got to stay on top of things.
And you know, when you track everything, you start to see how those little expenses add up.
Right, like that daily coffee.
He actually asks, is that coffee really worth a Mercedes-Benz?
Whoa, hold on. How did we get to a Mercedes?
Because over time, that money, with compound interest and investments...
Could have been a lot more.
Exactly. So it's not just about the money itself, it's about the bigger picture.
I see. It's about those long-term consequences.
You know, we often think about big, dramatic changes for success.
Right. Everyone wants the overnight transformation.
But Hardy talks about the unsung hero of small corrections.
The small stuff.
Yeah, little tweaks we make over time, they don't seem like much in the moment.
But they add up.
Big time. It's like a ship's rudder.
Okay, I'm listening.
A small adjustment early on can change your entire course.
Oh, makes sense.
He gives this example of a horse race. The horse that wins, it only wins by a nose.
Just barely.
But it gets 10 times more prize money.
Wow.
It wasn't 10 times faster, just a tiny bit better.
And those tiny bits add up over time.
Exactly. He also talks about golf.
Okay.
The number 1 golfer in the world versus number 10.
Yeah.
Their scores are only about 2% different.
Really? That close?
But the prize money,
Wow.
5 times different.
That's wild. So small improvements lead to big rewards.
It's those little refinements, all those little things we do consistently.
They made a huge difference.
And that brings us to habits.
Oh, yeah, habits. The foundation of everything.
He uses this analogy. It's really cool.
Okay.
Imagine a student trying to pull up trees.
Oh, okay, I'm picturing it.
The bigger the tree, the deeper the roots.
Right. Harder to pull up.
Same with habits. The older they are, the harder they are to change.
So true. Some habits are so ingrained.
He talks about Larry Bird, the basketball player.
Oh, yeah, legend.
Incredibly talented, but not the most naturally gifted.
Really? I always thought he was just a natural.
But his secret, he practiced 500 free throws every morning
Wow.
before school.
That's dedication.
Discipline and good habits.
It's what separates the good from the great.
So changing habits is all about conditioning ourselves.
Right. Like training our brain.
Through repetition and practice.
And that takes a lot of effort. So how do we stay motivated?
Hardy says it's all about knowing your why.
Their why. Okay. I'm interested.
Imagine this. I put a plank on the ground, 10 inches wide.
Okay.
I offer you $20 to walk across.
Yeah.
Easy, right?
Oh, yeah. No problem.
But what if that same plank was a bridge between 2 buildings,
Buildings.
100 stories high?
I don't know about that.
Right. Suddenly, $20 doesn't seem like enough.
No way.
But now imagine your kid is on that building,
Oh, no.
and there's a fire.
I'd cross that plank in a heartbeat.
Exactly. That's the power of why.
It changes your whole perspective.
It gives you that unstoppable motivation.
So it's not about the money, it's about something deeper.
He even says sometimes it's those negative emotions.
Negative. Like,
Wanting to prove someone wrong.
oh, okay, I get that.
As long as it's driving you in a good direction.
Right, like using that anger as fuel.
He mentions Anthony Hopkins, the actor.
Oh, yeah, Hannibal Lecter.
He used the anger from being labeled a problem child to fuel his career.
Wow.
It's about finding your fight,
Your fight.
the thing that motivates you deep down. Why are you doing what you're doing?
That's a good question to ask yourself.
It is. He tells this amazing story. It's about finding a partner.
A partner.
So he made these lists, but not about what he wanted in a partner.
Oh, so not like a wish list of qualities.
No, it was about what he wanted in himself.
Interesting.
He asked himself, what kind of man would the woman I want be looking for?
That's a really cool way to look at it.
And then he started working on those qualities.
So he became the person he needed to be.
And guess what? His wife, Georgia,
Yeah.
she's almost exactly what he described in his list.
That's incredible. So you got to be the kind of person you want to attract.
It's a powerful idea. So let's get practical. How do we get rid of bad habits?
Okay. Yeah, let's talk strategies.
Hardy has some good ones. First step, identify your triggers.
Triggers,
Yeah.
like what sets off the bad habit.
Exactly. The who, what, where, when.
Okay, so like who are you with when you do it? What's happening? Where are you? What time of day is it?
Yeah, like, do you overeat when you're with certain people?
I know I do.
Is there a specific time you crave that unhealthy snack?
Now that you mention it.
Once you know your triggers, you can avoid them.
Or manage them better. Good advice.
Next, be conscious.
Conscious.
Like so many bad habits, we do them on autopilot.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Uses the example of the TV remote. You just pick it up and start flipping channels.
I do that all the time.
But if you just stop and think about
You
it,
can break the cycle.
exactly.
Okay, so triggers, consciousness. What else?
This one's great. Swap it out.
Swap it out.
Instead of just trying to stop the bad
This
habit,
is hard.
replace it with a good one.
Okay, I like that.
Like his sister-in-law craved crunchy, salty snacks.
Yeah, I get that.
So she started eating carrots and celery sticks.
Good swap.
A colleague of his was addicted to Diet Coke.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
He slowly switched to carbonated water, then plain water.
So it's about finding a healthier alternative.
Exactly. Hardy also talks about easing in versus jumping in.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Some habits, you got to go slow.
Eat your way out.
Yeah, to avoid those, what do you call them?
Withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, withdrawal.
Makes sense.
Like when they quit caffeine,
Yeah.
switch from regular coffee to decaf, then to tea.
Smart.
But sometimes cold turkey is better.
Just stop completely.
His business partner's brother quit drinking that way.
Wow, just like that?
Saw an older friend who was healthy and sober and just stopped.
That's powerful.
So it really depends on the person and the habit.
Okay, so we talked about getting rid of bad habits. What about starting good ones?
Hardy's got some strategies for that too.
Les mots.
One of the best is tie the new habit to something you already do.
Like, piggyback on an existing habit.
Yeah, like taking your vitamins after you brush your teeth.
Oh, that's smart.
You're already brushing your teeth every day, so.
You're more likely to remember the vitamins.
Exactly. Another good one is think addition, not subtraction.
Addition, not subtraction.
He talks about Montel Williams.
The talk show host.
Yeah, he has MS.
Oh, right.
So with his diet, he focuses on what he can add,
Instead of what he can't have.
like more salads, veggies. It's a more positive way to think about it.
I like that. It feels less restrictive.
Going public can also help.
Public.
Yeah, like telling people your goals.
Oh, so you're accountable.
He talks about this woman, Zelda.
Okay.
She wanted to quit smoking. She put up a big calendar outside her office.
A calendar.
Every day she didn't smoke, she marked it with a red X.
So everyone could see her progress.
And it worked. The accountability helped her stay on track.
That's a good idea. What else?
Finding an accountability partner is huge.
Someone to keep you on track.
Exactly. Share your goals, check in with each other,
Support each other.
and don't forget competition.
Competition.
He talks about this step competition they did at his magazine.
Oh, fun.
People formed teams, tracked their steps. It really motivated them.
I bet. I love a good competition.
And finally, celebrate your wins,
Celebrate.
even the small ones.
Oh, that's important.
It reinforces the good habit, keeps you motivated.
Okay, so we're starting these good habits.
And that's where Big Mo comes in.
Big Mo.
Momentum. Hardy talks about Newton's first law of motion.
Objects in motion stay in motion.
Exactly. It takes a lot of energy to get something moving.
Right, like a rocket ship taking off.
But once it's going, it takes less effort to keep it going.
So the same with our habits.
Once you build momentum, success comes easier.
Because you're already moving in the right direction.
And that's why successful people tend to get even more successful.
They have that Mo working for them.
But momentum can work against you too.
Oh, right, like with Brad.
Those bad habits can build momentum too.
And take you further down the wrong path.
So how do we harness that big Mo for good?
Okay, I'm ready.
Hardy says it's about routine. Consistent routines and rhythms. He talks about Michael Phelps.
The swimmer.
Yeah. He had those intense training routines,
Years of it.
led him to all those Olympic medals.
So good intentions aren't enough.
Nope. You need a system.
A plan to execute those intentions.
He gives the example of Jack Nicklaus, the golfer.
Okay.
He had this super specific pre-shot routine.
Really?
Same steps every time, mental and physical.
Wow, that's interesting.
It helped him stay focused and consistent.
So routines automate those good actions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hardy shares his own morning routine. Starts with gratitude, then sends positive thoughts to people he cares about.
Okay, that's a nice way to start the day.
Then he identifies his top 3 goals for the day.
Staying focused.
Stretches while his coffee's brewing, reads something instructional, and then
Yeah.
works on his most important task.
No messing around. Get right to it.
He also says we need rhythms beyond daily routines.
Rhythms.
Yeah, like weekly, monthly, even quarterly.
Okay, how does that work?
Think of a steam locomotive.
Right.
Takes a lot of power to get those wheels turning.
Huge wheels.
But once it's got momentum, it can plow through anything.
So we need that rhythm in our lives.
Things like date night every week, family day,
Keeping those priorities in check.
memorable experiences each month, a getaway every quarter.
Sounds like a good life.
It's about creating a life that works for you.
Not just letting life happen to you.
And one important thing, don't try to do too much too soon.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
He tells his story about Richard, who started working out 2 hours every day.
Oof, that's intense.
Way too much. He burnt out and quit.
So better to start small and build up.
Exactly. Consistency is key. It's like that pump well analogy.
The pump well.
You got to pump and pump at first with no water coming out.
That's discouraging.
It is. It's tempting to give up.
Especially when you're putting in all that effort,
But if you keep going, eventually.
the water starts flowing.
But if you're inconsistent,
That's like the water falls back down the well.
you got to start all over.
So consistency is like keeping that momentum going.
Exactly. Now, Hardy talks about these external influences,
Influence.
things that shape our choices and habits.
Okay, like what?
Input, associations, and environment.
Input, like what we consume.
Yeah, information, media, all that. It's garbage in, garbage out.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Makes sense.
Think of a glass of dirty water. Expert speaker.